So we're going to do a breath which I call the holokinetic breath, holokinetic. And it's a deep anatomical meditative practice with the breath, using the breath, which facilitates a really full breath. The next practice we're going to do after this one is going to add on to this. So again, this is a really good one to build on and to incorporate. And later on the next course, I'm going to do more work with it in a different way. So each practice is systematic in terms of building from one practice to the next practice to the next practice. Yeah? So take some time to really incorporate it. Again, rest your hands in a way that feels good. You can rest your hands on the lap here. I like doing these yogic mudras because they're not just funky shapes. What they're for is to direct the mind. They direct the mind internally. Okay? So these different shapes have different feelings associated with them. This is a different feeling to this, which is a different feeling to this. So these different feelings, states of mind, are what those hand shapes are for. I won't go into more detail on that. There's a whole system of mudras. They're called mudras. Hasta mudras for the hands, body mudras, mind mudras. There's a whole thing in that. But right now, for this course, we're not going to go deeper than that. I'm just saying that it's really useful to use the hands. You can rest them here like this. Yeah? You can rest them in this one we've already looked at, Dhyan Mudra, for example. Okay. So find a way of resting your hands comfortably and easily. So there's a little space in the armpit. There's space for the ribs to move. It's not going to close your body. If you rest your hands in a way that shuts the shoulder blades down, not so great. You want the shoulder blades down the back, the head above the heart above the belly, belly above the pelvis. Right. So for this breath practice, we're going to start with an out breath. So take the breath out and finish that out breath. And if you really squeeze the end of the out breath, you'll notice these muscles at the base of the belly, the transverse abdominals, will squeeze slightly inwards. Just pulse them for a moment and feel it. And if you pulse them like that, you'll feel the pelvic floor moving as well. We've already had a look at the linking between the muscles of the transverse abdominals and the pelvic floor because of how we come to squat. Same pieces being touched into. So get that feeling here, just squeezing those muscles in. And then you're going to squeeze the front and the middle of the pelvic floor upwards slightly and begin that in-breath from there. So that creates a little tensional pattern just right at the bottom of the belly here. Yeah? Keep that gentle squeeze in on these muscles. It's a little tensioning or pre-tensioning of the abdomen, which just gently increases the pressure in the abdomen. And what happens is you're going to breathe in from there. The upper abdomen can move. Try that little piece again. Breathe out. Finish the out breath. Squeeze those muscles in a little bit. Squeeze the pelvic floor in and upwards a little bit. Pulse it if you need to feel it a bit more fully. And keep that gentle lift in the pelvic floor. Keep that gentle drawing in at the base muscles, this little belt, yeah, this base belt of the body here. And then breathe in from there. And you notice the ribs start to open. And we're going to expand on that. We're going to grow that now. Breathe out again. Really good. Finish that out breath. Yeah? Squeeze those base muscles in. Tuck up, squeeze up the front and middle of the pelvic floor. Just gently, gently, gently. Enough for you to feel it. Pulse it maybe a little bit. And then breathe in from there. You've got that increase in pressure in the abdomen by doing that muscular activity. The ribs are going to start to open because the diaphragm is changing its function. It's drawing from the inside and opening those ribs up now. But the next muscle group switches on is the scalenes up here. And they're going to stabilize these ribs and allow the external intercostals to switch on. So we're going to find those now in the next breath. Out breath. You're going to find your external intercostals and you're going to find all of them, all the way up. There are 12 ribs, 11 spaces between the ribs. So you want to see if you can feel into all those 11 spaces all the way through. Okay? Lovely. Neck is long slightly, back of the head up slightly, chin very slightly dropped. So the scalenes are not overworking. Nothing's working over much here. The head is above the heart. Yeah? Really important. Tongue is super relaxed. What you can do with the tongue to reduce concentration, stress, yeah, because otherwise you end up with concentration stress in the face, is to put the tip of the tongue behind the top teeth. Put the tip of the tongue up behind the top teeth, relax the jaw, soft lips, yeah, like you're kissing the air a little bit, that kind of thing, and breathe out again. Finish the out breath. Squeeze those base muscles in the body. Squeeze the front and middle of the pelvic floor inwards and upwards slightly, and take that full deep breath in now. Feel those ribs opening up, and then track through. See if you can find all the other 11 rib spaces all the way up. A long, slow, full inhale. You feel full at the end of it. You feel the sternum lifting slightly, just a little bit at the top here. Yeah. And then hold that in breath for a micro moment, and then breathe out slowly. Remember feeling the 4 parts of the breath. Feel all the ribs, external intercostal muscles relaxing down. Feel the ribs drop. Feel the belly relax. Breathe out all the way down and finish that out breath. The abdominal musculature squeezes in. You get that muscular end to the out breath. Pelvic floor in and up. Breathe in from that pelvic floor as if you were breathing from there. Breathing in. Feel the diaphragm opening the ribs. Feel the ribs opening up wide. All the 11 spaces switching on. Back of the neck long. Jaw relaxed. Tongue behind the top teeth. All the way in. Hold that breath slightly. Long, slow out breath. I'm making my voice, my breath a little bit sibilant so you can hear it. We'll cover this breath later, but for now you can probably hear it on the microphone. It's about 20 seconds for an inhale there. And about 20 seconds for an exhale. So I'm working with an equal inhale and exhale on that breath. You can extend the out breath a little bit if you want to, but it's not crucial at this point in time. But what I want you to really feel is just that full volume possibility and feeling the respiratory muscles as you switch them on, really enhancing them and getting your mind right into the body. So it's an anatomical meditation of feeling the respiratory muscles fully and completely. It's an amazing practice. Yeah? So you've got that full deep inhale. Brief hold. Long, slow exhale, feeling the release of all those muscles that have been switching on. And you can feel how the in-breath has an anti-gravity feel to it. It's got a lifting. And the out-breath has a with gravity feel, a letting go. Which is why so many meditative traditions use the out-breath as a focus on letting go, the psychological, emotional letting go. Yeah? So the in-breath, so there are certain traditions, for example, some of the Tibetan traditions, work very much with the out-breath being a letting go, releasing, letting go. So that's another profound element of psycho-emotional qualities to breath practice that you can add in if that really serves you to do that. And it probably serves everybody to let go, to be honest with you. Not gripping onto arising phenomena, not gripping with the mind or the heart onto arising phenomena. That doesn't mean you don't feel things. You feel fully, healthy connection, healthy attachment, all these good things, but you're not gripping them. You're not gripping them in fear. You're letting everything flow as it does. Yeah? So you're letting go of the aspect of trying to be a control freak. Yeah? to make sure the universe does what you want it to do, or you won't feel safe. It doesn't work, by the way, being a control freak. And you can't control the universe like that, no matter what people tell you. Yeah, now people will tell you that you can, you can dominate the universe. Okay, we are the universe. We are it. We are this whole weave of space-time, inseparable from it. It's not that we are outside of it, making it do stuff. I am. This is space-time. What we can do is we can consciously breathe and land ourselves so successfully in flow that we can do. Optimal flow. And that takes us into peak performance where we will be fully with every arising situation and be able to respond to it in the right and appropriate way. This breath practice enables us to step into that place. It begins the journey of going deeper and deeper into being in flow in a powerful, powerful, integrated way.